So after putting 20 plus hours into Story of Seasons The Grand Bazaar, I've realized I've made some pretty big mistakes that cost me time, money, and even progress with my favorite characters. Today I want to share my biggest regrets so you don't repeat them when you start your own farm. At the start, I focused on chickens because eggs seemed enough. Also because you get a free chicken, so why not? But later on in the game, I found out that I needed a lot of ingredients from the cows and the sheep. And honestly, with the way you start earning money in the game and the economy, cows and sheep are pretty affordable early on and they unlock recipes plus gifts for romanceable NPCs later. So definitely do not skip out on that. They're essential for progression, and honestly, they're so cute you'll wish you had plushies of them in real life. One of the things I really want to do is I want to look up like, oh, where can I get a Story of Seasons cow or a Story of Seasons chicken? Because really, they're super cute. Even before I was aware of the Story of Seasons games, I'm like, okay, these animals are cute. That's probably a reason to play the game. But not to mention, like, this game has honestly been fantastic. But moving on to point two, wasting time selling items at the bazaar. So the first time I did my bazaar, I think it's been like 5 bazaars or 6 bazaars already, I underestimated how fast items sell out. Because, and especially later on, right? And not even too much later on in the game, once you unlock happiness and you have the cheer squad, which allows you to sell items faster, you can run out of items pretty fast. I think in my most recent bazaar, I sold at least 150 or maybe 160 items. And with the cheer squad, you're getting extra money and you're getting bonuses from your decor. So things move pretty quickly. So make sure before you go to the bazaar, you take as many items as you possibly can. Remember, all the flowers that you pick up in the game, those can be sold. The ore that you mine in the game, because you have a lot of iron ore in the beginning, that can be sold as well. So keep in mind that later on in the game, you're going to need that for a particular quest. Copper as well, especially once you move on to silver and gold. Your excess copper could be sold. I haven't found a use for that just yet. So take more items than you need to sell at the bazaar, especially if you have the inventory space to do so, because you never know, you might have an amazing bazaar time, and most likely you will, so that you can earn as much money as possible. I think after playing yesterday, and today is September 20th, I have about 67,000 gold, which I have not really figured out how to use just yet. My third biggest regret is not realizing that in the bazaar, I can close my shop. In the situation where, like, okay, I've sold everything, I'm just going to sit there and wait, and the game doesn't tell you can close your shop, or I might have missed that actual fact. You can actually close your shop and go around and do some shopping yourselves, talk to the different stalls, see what they have, because there are a fair number of cosmetic stalls and other things that you can use. Like, I recently unlocked the guy who can give you additional cooking options in your house. And I just haven't had time to go and look at his stalls because the bazaar starts at 10 a.m., right? So you cannot shop it before that. Then it stops at 2 p.m. and you have 1 hour to visit stalls before the next session starts from 3 to 7 p.m. And then after 7 p.m., it shuts down. And the bazaar, remember, is only once a week on in-game time on a Saturday. So at some point, if you do want to make use of the money you've stocked up, maybe you hit 100,000 money, well, you should close up shop and make the best use of the time to buy the things that you need. Because remember, decoration as well also helps you sell more stuff in the game. That's for your actual bazaar stall, but there's also decoration itself. Just makes you look good. I want to change the way I'm look because I look like a really big country bumpkin. And so on bazaar days, I do have one tip. Skip your morning chores because you need that extra time to get ready and run over to the bazaar and what stuff you're actually taking to the bazaar. So that's definitely something to think about. All right, moving on to point 4, misunderstanding happiness and seeds. So I thought happiness was like this endless thing that you could use to buy seeds. Totally wrong. Seeds are pricey and certain crops eat through your happiness supply pretty fast. So far, I don't have too many like amazing things to use happiness for. The biggest things I'm using it for is these boxes in the game that allow you to not have to go back all the way back to your farm in order to get stuff. You can use these boxes to look at your inventory. So another tip as well, always keep a backup stock of seeds so you don't waste valuable growing time because you do go through seeds pretty fast. Again, depending what you're growing on your farm. Like I'm growing some gardenias now and it's summer and they grow every 3 days. So roughly I can grow 2 sets of gardenias before the next bazaar starts. And again, you don't have a lot of growing time between bazaars. It's just roughly the 6 days. And then the morning of the bazaar, which you really want to be spent getting ready, right? So that's another thing I regret, is wasting time in the mornings, or wasting growing time, and also wasting my happiness. Last point I want to talk about is only talking to romance NPCs. Is I made a mistake thinking, all right, like most farming games I've played in the past, you talk to the character you're romantically interested in and that's it. But in the Grand Bazaar, some of the romanceable NPCs, they ask you to talk to their family members or other villagers in order to unlock the next stage of the romance. For example, Maple, right, one of the blonde ladies in the game, she was like, okay, you need to talk to my grandparents. And I had to talk to her grandparents every day for a few days in order to unlock the next level of romance. Sophie, who's the mayor's daughter, I had to talk to her dad as well in order to unlock her next level of romance. So you do need to be social. And again, this is, I would say, the theme of the Grand Bazaar so far, is that there is no, oh my God, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to finish this aspect of the game and be done with it. There are bumps in the road that slow you down, or speed bumps that sort of force you to do other things, so that all the things in the game, or all the aspects of the game, progress somewhat equally together. And honestly, fantastic game. So those are my biggest mistakes I've made. Hopefully this helps you avoid some pitfalls and gets the most out of your game. If you played Grand Bazaar, let me know down in the comments what's the biggest mistake or regret you've made. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more RPGs and farming game guides.